Snapper backpack blower. I wouldn't be caught dead using one of these. You'll never say, what? Maybe I can give it a try. This is a great opportunity to test out what I think many would consider an extremely low end, if not the lowest end, that you can get for a backpack blower. This is a Snapper BB44. I don't know anything about it other than it was on sale at Walmart for $45. I mean, it does look sharp. It's certainly small. That's for sure. It is tiny. But it does look good. Let's put it together. So the straps feel like really cheap backpack straps. They do have a lot of cushion in them though. See this here, where your throttle cables connect to your handle. This looks to me a definite weak point. You know, as you're moving things back and forth, it does seem like it would be nice to have some extra protection there. Instead, you've got these cables going to be rubbing directly on this sharp plastic as they go in. Here's a close-up of the handle, that momentary switch that we talked about. And then you've got your throttle and your cruise control, which you can't depress till your throttle's down. And then you can back that cruise control out and you can see the throttle comes up. And then here's one tube and the tip here. And then this whole thing rotates, and like we said, you can move this handle, slide it up and down here. So one thing I can already see is that filling this mower up with gas will be a complete pain. This is the neutral position. When I just set it on the ground, this is the position it comes to. You can see that's extremely awkward to pour gas into. So instead, you're going to have to do something like, well, see, I don't even know, because the tube is on this side, and this is not sticking out enough to put your nozzle into, so you're going to have to actually move this whole unit, and I just don't know how you're going to do that. So that's not very easy to fill at all. Here's your, let's see. Rotate this out of the way. Still doesn't really give us access, does it? Okay, so that's how you got to do it. You got to get it up on a bucket. I don't think if you don't lift it up, I don't think there's any way you could fill it. The cap feels really nice though. That's a little thing, but the cap threads on really easy. I know my Poulon Pro stuff, I can't say the cap threads that nicely. And it feels more like, you know, rubber and gaskets rather than plastic on plastic. So maybe you're a homeowner looking to get your first backpack blower, or you're starting a brand new landscape lawn care company and you want to get away with the cheapest thing you can. I cannot recommend the Snapper BB44. At $150 to $180 depending on when you get it. I just can't recommend it when for $120 you can get this kind of a handheld blower. This is a Hitachi 24cc engine. This engine is a 27cc. They are pretty much comparable in what they will do, the performance of them. The reasons why I wouldn't recommend this: the fuel is a real issue. Filling it is a pain every single time. You can see the difference. Ergonomically, you've got your spout right here, sticking out, sticking back, very easy to fill. Your spout here, covered by the carb, it is facing down, sideways, it's just a complete pain. The preferred starting pattern for this snapper is ridiculous. If you do it their way, it's going to take between 2 and 3 minutes. Whereas with this handheld, you're up and running in maybe 30 to 60 seconds. That's going to be another big difference in these cheaper blowers. If you get a real commercial backpack blower, when you start it up, it's going to be ready to go, full throttle. These cheaper ones, these residential models, they need a couple of seconds to really warm up, to really open up so that they can perform at full throttle. If either one of these, if you try and start these right off the bat and go full throttle, they'll bog down. They just can't handle it. But the 24cc engine bogs down much less than this guy. If you run this Hitachi for maybe 15 or 30 seconds just on a low idle, start it and put something up in your trailer, and then when you're ready for it, it's ready to go. With this guy, he takes 3, 4, sometimes 5 minutes to warm up. The only time I could recommend something like this, a very, very, very cheap backpack blower over a $50, $60, $70 savings in a handheld, is if you've got some physical limitations where you just can't lift that around. That's the one advantage of this thing, is that because all the weight's on your back, it is so much easier to use. Now, the performance isn't better. It's a pain in the butt to fuel. Getting it started can be a nightmare. But when it comes to actually using it, the backpack blower is so much easier on your body than a handheld blower like this one. If it were me, I would still go ahead and buy this one first. This was, I think, $110 on sale at Lowe's. A cheap backpack blower like this is $150. You're going to have people say you should just spend $300 on a better blower model. I don't necessarily think they're wrong, but I know that not everybody can do that. So if you're at the point where you've got less than $200 to spend and these are the options you're looking at, I would caution against these low-end backpack blowers. What we'll do now is a kind of a side-by-side comparison of that issue that I was talking about, how long it takes each of them to be ready to go. So first we're going to start up the roughly $120 handheld Hitachi blower. Full choke, 5 or 6 primes. Listen. So we'll wait. The amount of time before you are up and going with the Hitachi is going to be much shorter than for the BB44. And 2 or 3 minutes if you're a homeowner, 2 or 3 minutes letting your machine warm up, that's not going to be an issue. But if you're doing lawn care, it's going to be pretty annoying. Not being able to just start it and go and having to wait for it to run. If you don't let the BB44 warm all the way up, it's going to bog down the entire time you're blowing. You know, the next 5 minutes, it just can't catch back up if you don't start it properly.